Good afternoon, Fort McMurray. It's Melanie Galea with Remax Fort McMurray, and I am with my co-host of this episode, Let's Talk Lending.
With Barb Pinsent from the Mortgage Center Elite.
Awesome. Okay, Barb. Bank of Canada rate announcement happened today. What happened?
It did. It happened, and no change, thankfully.
Nothing happened, and we're excited about it.
We are. We need that break. I just it's just been so awful. So it was wonderful to see they didn't change it.
Yes, and thank goodness.
And only because of some of the numbers that came out that did show them that about a week ago that thing inflation is coming down. It's not where they want it to be, but slowly, and the measures they've taken are starting to work. There's not that supply chain backup like there was, and so we're going to get there. Yeah, we're going to get there.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. So Barb, you have a presentation today. And I think it's really good because usually what we do is, we talk about, well, first of all, about the interest rate. I mean, Benjamin Powell keeps talking about, he's the chief economist for CIBC, and he is like my go-to guy when it comes to the information that he gives out. And he just did a presentation last week and he talked about this. He said it was going to be like this. And usually inflation is a lagging indicator, right? So we're reporting way in the future about it. But anyways, okay, Barb, let's talk about now. You've got a presentation to do for us on closing costs.
I do. And just because I think they're important to be aware of, because it's more money that you're going to need in addition to the down payment when you're buying a property. And now let's just get, I can't see to change the screen. Goodness, if it's not one thing, here we go.
There you go. You got it.
Yeah. They refer to the various fees and expenses that home buyers must pay when you're finalizing a property purchase. And the costs typically include legal fees, because you're going to need a lawyer in Alberta to handle the legal aspects of your purchase. So there's a fee for that. There's a land transfer tax fee that's paid to the government of Alberta. Every province has their own version of this. Alberta, we're lucky because it's not as high as some provinces, but is paid.
Bob, let's talk about that. Like, how much is that? Because that's not really something that we talk about in our closing costs. Like,
it's a per dollar, so it's based on your. Oh, good God, Melanie, good getting me off.
Sorry.
Good. Yeah, it's based on I think it's $50 and then $2 per 100,000 or per 1,000 based on mortgage amount and based on the purchase price is how it's calculated.
Okay.
Very nominal in Alberta. Like the average cost for an average mortgage in Alberta under 400,000, probably $400. Like it's not very much.
Gotcha.
When you consider what some of the other provinces want, like some want 1.5% of the purchase price.
Yeah.
1%, so very nominal in Alberta. And then, of course, there's the home inspection, and that's not mandatory, but really, really important that you get one done because there are things that we're not going to see as the lay person, that someone who knows what they're looking for and has the right equipment to find things is going to find if it's there with a home inspection.
Yeah.
Appraisal fees, not required if you're putting less than 20% down, but if you're putting 20% or more down, then lenders do typically want an appraisal to determine the value of the property. Property insurance, you do need home insurance when you're buying single family dwelling or duplex, or sometimes condos don't need it, but it is another cost that you're looking at. Title insurance, most lenders want title insurance in place. I think maybe $50 to cover the lender. And then as the homeowner, you can apply for your own coverage as well. Very inexpensive when you consider what it is that it might cover for you. And it's title defects that it'll help you with. So I'm not able to talk about it because I'm not insured to sell it, but it is a very good product and something that people should look into. And I think most lawyers even recommend to their clients that they look at taking it on when they're buying a new property.
Can I pipe in about that, please? If you could just go back, because so here's the thing. In Fort McMurray, I would say 99% of the properties don't have an up-to-date real property report for those types of properties, unless it's like, and including bare land condos. Okay. So, but if you have a condo, like a condo apartment with a conventional condo, you don't need title insurance. But for the others, you do. And generally, what happens is that the seller pays for it. They either have to provide an up-to-date real property report and compliance from the city, and or they need to provide that title insurance. So that's generally not something that comes out of your pocket. It comes out of the seller's pocket in Fort McMurray when it comes to that. But definitely it is something you need. And the biggest reason that you need it is for fraud reasons. Now, I'm just going to go back to your other point about home inspections. I
Yeah.
think you are crazy to not get a home inspection. It is very, very rare, unless it is a condo apartment. That is pretty much the only time I might say you could get away with not having one. You absolutely want to make sure that you're getting a home inspection. And in fact, sometimes some lenders, once in a while, Barb, are
We'll ask.
asking for it too. So yeah, you really got to look. So they're cost anywhere from between $500 and $650, depending on the property and how big it is. So when it comes to a home inspection.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm finding that lenders are asking for them more and more. Like, and I won't go into detail, but you're right. Yes, lenders do sometimes want a copy of it as well. Okay. So property tax assessment. There's going to be adjustments made when you're buying for property taxes. If the seller's paid for the taxes in full for the year already, you may have to reimburse the seller. If you're buying after June and property taxes have been paid in full, because the city demands that they be paid in full for the year by the end of June, unless you're making a monthly payment. You might have to come up with like 6 months worth of taxes, depending on what your closing date is. So it's good to be aware that you're going to need that extra money as well.
Okay, but let's talk about when you would be paying for, just for clarity's sake for people. If you move in November 1st, you're paying from November 1st to the end of the year. If you're moving in February 1st, then you're moving in February to the end of the year. So what would happen actually is if you move in before June 30th, the seller needs to reimburse you in order for those to be paid. Generally what happens is that the lawyers pay the city directly, and then I'm pretty sure actually, but anyways, the seller would reimburse you. If it's after June 30th, then you would need to reimburse the seller for the time that you own the house. It is not for the entire year, just for clarity on that.
Yeah, well, that's right. But it can be a pretty tidy sum of money, so you want to be aware that you need that. And then, like, again, depending on where it is that you're buying and depending on what your purchase price is and the amount of mortgages that you're looking at, closing costs can be anywhere from 1.5% to 4% of the home's purchase price. So budgeting is essential, obviously, because if you're looking at, 1.5% of 400,000, or you're looking at 4% of 200,000, whatever that looks like, it's still extra money that you got to come up with over and above what it is that you need to put down on your purchase. So important to budget for those as well.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's us. So if you want to get a hold of us, you can go to letstalklending.com. We're happy to, chat with you about what's happening in the market. I'm just going to present real quick here on what I see is happening with single family home stats. So I'm just going to share my screen on that. And so right now, our inventory, I just updated this before we started. We're at 364 listings right now for single family homes. Like if we go back and look, like we are right on target since June. So since June, we have the same amount of single family home inventory. So don't fall into the side chair, like the people that think they're realtors at site, right? Like find out from an actual real estate agent what is happening. Now, it's a little bit slower so far this month. We've got 18 sales, but there's 39 offers on all of the listings. That there's over 500. I think there's 517 listings in total right now, and 56 are sold for all the inventory, and then 39 have offers on them. So I expect these numbers to pick up before the end of the month. End of the month is a Tuesday. Yeah, I expect these numbers. Now, the other thing that I've seen is that it's gotten busier this week, right? It's gotten busier. And so that's a good thing. So I'm not as concerned, we're a little bit behind on the average sale price from last year. But I'm not too worried about it, right? I think we're still doing okay. And we're definitely doing better than last year when it comes to sales. And I know that we'll beat last year's sales. So that's that's about all that I have to say on that. Barb, when is the next rate hold announcement? It's in December, right? What's the date?
I believe it's the 8th, and I always check. Well, don't always,
It's
but
all. Do you think it's the 6th or
December
the 13th? No, because the 8th's a Friday, so it's always a
8th. Okay,
Wednesday.
give me a second here, and I'll let you know.
Sorry
The
about.
next announcement. No, I should have this ready. It's December the 6th.
The
I was,
6th.
yeah.
Okay. So they won't have enough information for inflation for November numbers yet at that point in time. So they'll really be looking at October's numbers and
Yeah.
seeing what happens. Okay. All right, for McMurray, you know what to do. You want to get a hold of us? Go to letstalklending.com. We are happy to help you wherever you are in your, whether you're looking to purchase, whether you're looking to sell. If you need help, Barb, you help with refinancing too.
I do. Refinancing, renewals, and yeah, anything mortgage related, I can help with.
Awesome. All right, Barb. Thanks for doing this with me. And I'm so excited, so proud of Barb. Barb's starting to do her own videos. Yay!
Thank you, Melanie.
No, listen, I'm so proud of you, right? Like, because it really does take something to be willing to put yourself out there like this. So I'm so proud of you, Barb.
Would I be here if it hadn't been for you?
I know, right?
Not. So thank you.
Sometimes you got to take people kicking and screaming, and then they land up thanking you later. So thanks for trusting me. All right, for McMurray, we will talk to you next on the 6th of December. Have a great month and a half.
Bye.